Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching of scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all the Akyam across the earth who are doing this work in sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the sincere brothers and sisters who are at home watching the videos and do their best to please Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai. So I want to jump into this article, it's from yesterday. It's like it's from yesterday, and yeah, I think it's from yesterday. So it's about the German soldiers. So they sent soldiers to Greenland basically to then and do an expedition. Map out the land and stuff like that. Because Trump want to take Greenland. They had last week they had like a meeting, the prime minister of Greenland, the one of Denmark, and one of these dudes from America. I don't know if Trump was also there. I think he was also there. So they went to the White House and basically, to talk about Greenland. But Trump want to take it. He been saying that he want to buy it and all that shit. And he basically said like, he's gonna take it on the diplomatic way, or he just gonna grab it, with military force. But now you see like NATO, Europe and NATO, so they be basically like, yo, we not we not are you gonna we are not gonna let you do that. So they sent some soldiers over there basically to show that they are in alliance with each other. And basically they were mapping up the ground, basically, yeah, just showing that they are ready to defend Greenland, that they're not gonna let America take it. But there, here you also see, like the scripture said, and let me just read it. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall this kingdom stand? So, if you look around you, you see that we are at the end of this kingdom, at the end of this wicked rulership. So, all these devils, they basically starting to be each other enemies. And the future is that America is going to be destroyed. That's the future of America. Matter of fact, let me jump real quick to the book of Psalms. It talks about the daughter of Babylon, and that's aka America. Daughter of Babylon, the great city. Those are scriptures that talk about America. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 8. O daughter of, and you can also, Babylon the Great, and this in this verse is named daughter of Babylon. So this is a future prophecy. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And just check the history of this country, of America. They've been in war ever since Columbus set foot there on America. They've been in war. First with the indigenous people, the northern tribes, majority of them were from the tribe of Gad, are from the tribe of Gad. So, but you also found the Issacharites, so-called Mexicans, those were the people that were living there. And so these devils, they set foot there. And ever since, they've been in war, whether it be in their own country, but also interfering with all these countries. But now we coming at the end of this rulership, this devil, aka America, the whore, Babylon the Great. So her power is coming to an end. People standing up against her, against America. Like last time, past year, you had this attack from America. They did some stuff, and then Iran, they bombed and military base in Qatar. So they're not playing. They already said they're ready to fight back. To clap back. They're going to clap back. So they're ready to do that. They showed it even with Israel. They bombed Israel. They bombed the hell out of Israel. But those are things that they were really keeping out of the news. So Israel attacked Iran, and then Iran just retaliate. They basically they did some serious damage on Israel. People were saying sitting there in their bunkers for days, talking about they the people, right? Where's your protection at? So, but you see that even amongst them, even amongst NATO, you see that they are not on one accord. So, and Trump said that every country that's going to take part with a mission on Greenland he's going to throw tariffs on them. And that's beautiful because, like I said, they have to be destroyed. That's the future of America. So it's beautiful that he's doing all these things. It's really beautiful. So let me jump into the article. 15 German soldiers left Greenland on Sunday after less than 2 days. A spokesman from the armed force described it as a quiet, secretive departure. The Germans were part of a reconnaissance, reconnaissance mission by European countries to see how Greenland could be better defended. According to the Bild, the soldiers received a sudden order to leave from Berlin on Sunday morning. All planned appointments had to be cancelled immediately. They left at noon. The outlet road. So the soldiers were in Greenland for less than 2 days, 44 hours, from landing to departure. The German Ministry of Defense denies that a hasty departure is being made. Yeah, of course. They're never gonna admit to something. They still devils, like the scripture said, they being born speaking lies. So they're not gonna tell you what's really going on, but to the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushua, we see what's going on. The German Ministry of Defense denies that a hasty departure is being made. The spokesperson told Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung that the reconnaissance is complete and the results will be evaluated in the coming days. The withdrawal comes after a day after Donald Trump threatened countries participating in the Greenland mission. The US president announced tariffs on 8 countries participating in the exploitation, including the Netherlands. Trump has strongly criticized the fact that European NATO countries sent troops at Denmark's invitation. He said that allied soldiers were there for unknown purposes, purposes. This would be a very dangerous situation for the security, protection, and survival of the planet. You see that? He's ready to destroy the earth, man. He is ready to destroy the earth, but his future is to be destroyed. And Trump, he probably gonna stay alive to be one of the first slaves, man. Yeah, yeah, Ratazah. A proud devil working his hands till blood and work a little bit more. Work until the final extermination of his race is gonna come, man. So the Netherlands, European countries issue statement. The Netherlands, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, and the UK published a joint statement on Sunday, reiterating their solidarity with Denmark and the people of Greenland. They also criticize the US for threatening import tariffs, which they say could trigger a dangerous downward spiral. Yeah, because you got to keep in mind, the people in America, they sick and tired of Trump because Trump is bringing them to a shithole. Everything started going up because he been throwing tariffs, but meanwhile the majority of the products are coming from China. In America they produce very little to nothing from themselves, so they being consumers. So he been fucking himself up. We remain united as members of NATO. We are committed to strengthening Arctic security. The country's right. Participating in a mission to assess how Greenland can be secured is a part of this. The mission poses no threat to anyone. So that's a reaction. And like I said, America used to be the one that basically nobody would go against to, but that times has changed. His rulership is coming to an end. His rulership is coming to an end, and that's what it is. Let me see. The scripture I'm not gonna read first. Because eventually, like I said, America is going to be destroyed, and there are multiple scriptures that talk about it. Let me jump to the book of Revelations first, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the ten horns is talking about NATO, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and the whore is talking about America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. You see that? So nuclear fire. America's going to be a river of fire, man. For Yahweh had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Yeah, and the great city is talking about America losing his power. He's losing his power, and that's exactly what you see going on right now. This book of Obadiah, there's only one chapter there, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And that's what you see, that's what you see. All these countries, all these other countries, they basically already looking at America like, hey man, you being, we sick and tired of you basically bullying us and telling us what we are allowed to do and what not. And meanwhile, he is just doing whatever, they are just doing whatever they feel like, making up all these rules, concerning rules concerning war and things that they are supposed to do and ain't supposed to do. And meanwhile, they go against it. Let me see. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. So the word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, because they used to be these cave monkeys, whose habitation is high, and that sit in his heart. Nowadays you find them in the skyscrapers. They love being on high and all that. That sit in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, the satellites that they have going on, space station, thence will I bring thee down, said Yahweh. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? And yeah, but if you look at this devil, it's never enough. He's only going to countries where there's something to get. Venezuela, yeah, it's all for the oil. Everybody knows it, but everybody basically sitting there watching him doing it. And like I said, these things, how annoying it might be, but these things had to happen. The devil, you gotta keep in mind that these devils gonna get the so-called white people, the Edomites. They're gonna get the purest anger from the Most High. This righteous indignation is gonna be poured out upon them, because this is a nation that eventually is going to be exterminated. And for you as a nation to be exterminated means that your level of iniquity, your wickedness, has to be very high, man. How are the things of Esau searched out? Yeah, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. How are his hid things sought up? Because more and more shit is coming to the forefront. And like I said, Trump basically be acting like a loose projectile and doing all this crazy shit, so stirring up more anger amongst the people. He was talking a lot of shit to Iran also, where some protests are going on, and he said like that he's ready to basically send to do some military action over there. But Iran responded to them and said like they will defend themselves at any means, and they already showed it last time, because the first time a year ago or 2 years ago when they got that general of them, that Soleimani, then Iran basically let that pass away. You know, they gave they did a drone attack, some attack on Israel, but it was a very yeah, very structural attack. It was not really an attack, you know, like missiles, drones were flying slow, and you know they were easily for Israel to basically got those things out of the air. But what they did last year, they really did some damage, you know, and also to America. So showing them like, okay, yeah, it's enough, you know. They're not stopping with the nuclear program and all that. They said they have all the rights to do that. To do that, they be like, okay, why is America allowed to do it? Why does Israel have all these warheads and all these things going on, and they are not allowed to do it? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound on thee. There is no understanding in them. Shall I not in that day, said Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And the mighty man, O Timan, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. That's the future of America, man. They all these things that they got, witchcraft, all these things that they got going on, you know, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for them. This is this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, hosts is talking about armies, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. And that's exactly what they are. Everywhere where they set foot, wickedness increase. You know, more and more wickedness. And the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever, forever, and that's really forever. He got righteous anger against these people forever, man. So let me see. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47. Let me start. Let me start at verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the later end of it. Yeah, they until this day, these people still think that they are untouchable. Therefore, you know, and that's also a thing, and the book of Ecclesiastes also speaks about it, because the Most High, you know, basically is hiding himself, and they think that they can just go on with the wickedness because there's none that's gonna stop them. Let me see, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of man is fully set in them to do evil. You see that? So if you gotta, like I said, from day one, ever since Columbus set foot upon America, you know, America has been in war, starting at their own country first, and then, you know, basically attacking everybody around them, and basically bullying and telling everybody what they are allowed to do and what not. But yeah, it's coming to an end. Beautiful. Therefore, hear this now that are given to. Therefore, hear now. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitudes of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Yeah, because all these things that they've been doing on the left hand side is not gonna work, it's not gonna stand. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. They're gonna find out the hard way, man, the real hard way. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, yeah, and with the multitudes of thy sorceries. So come on with your witchcraft. You can't stand, you have no chance against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be a if so thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Yeah, try to looking for solutions. Let now thy astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up, and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. This is talking about the nuclear fire and the fire, there's laser beams that's going to be shot upon them, blasting people to powder from the chariots. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. Yeah, because these people gonna see that America is going down, and they gonna see like, yo man, this is gonna be far too hostile over here. We're going to our own country, and when America is in trouble, nobody is gonna help them. Nobody's gonna help them. No, they're gonna be very busy with America, and then Yahweh Shai is gonna come back, and then they're gonna join forces and fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels and the elect. The elect men, that's gonna be the ground troops. But they shall not prevail. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video like that. So like I said, keep saying it. There's a lot going on. We are in the final stretch of the rulership of these wicked devils. So yeah, man. Hey, keep on praying to Yahweh Basham Yahushai for giving us strength that we endure and that we faint not. The Pasach is coming up. Examine yourself. Try to better yourself, and that we might stay strong and hold on, man, because like the scripture said, he that endured until the end, the same shall be saved. So that Yahweh Shem Yahushua might give us the strength, and that the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua doesn't leave us, because without the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hey, we lost, man. So yeah, man, with that I'm gonna say shalom. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh Basham Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone for teaching the scriptures among other things, and salutations to all the Akyam across the earth who do this work in sincerity and truth, and shalom to the sincere brothers and sisters who are at home watching the videos and do their best to please Yahweh Basham Yahushai. So yeah, man, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.